Hey, 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 hey. Hey, what's up, family? Lot of mercy. How you doing? This is your brother King Simon in the halls of the North American region of New York State. Glad that this is going to be up. So I'm going to be putting this up, of course, and saying what's going on and what's coming up. First, I'm going to start with what's coming up because there's a lot of things coming up. I'm not going to wait for people to come in and all that kind of stuff. It's all right. This is going to be up. But want to say first, please share this video. Share this with your friends. Share it on Facebook for me because we're going to touch on what's going on, what's going up. And we're going to do a little mathematics around, a little numerovation, a little numerology around and see how everything pans out and how's everything looking. So I'm just happy to be here in front of you on YouTube only so far. Haven't decided to go YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm just going to do this YouTube thing with you. Remember, all my social medias are in the description box below. Also, if you do want to attend any of my events coming up, I do have 2 events already posted on my Eventbrite, and that's at kingsimonproductions.eventbrite.com. That's kingsimonproductions.eventbrite.com. And if you want to find out about products, my bio, you want to do anything, workshops, classes, and all that, you can also go to kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. So what's coming up? First and foremost, we have a tribute to Dr. Delbert Blair coming up, at Nicholas Brooklyn, over there in Brooklyn, New York, between New York and Brooklyn Avenue. That's 1396 Fulton Street between Brooklyn and New York Avenue. Tribute to the late, great Grandmaster of Metaphysics, the one, the only Dr. Blair. It's an ancestral tribute. We have invited guest speakers will be Blue Pill, Red Pill, Ross Ben, Sister Kafunya, Ankh Rising Sun, the Elder Bishop Renee, myself, Joel Benjamin, and those that are going to be passing through. I understand Lloyd Strayhorn said he's going to be passing through. And you can get your tickets now on Eventbrite. Also, we are live streaming it on Joel Benjamin 528. So if you go to my Eventbrite and go into the description box of my Eventbrite, you can go scroll down to the link to the live stream and pay for the live stream if you're going to be somewhere outside of the United States or outside of New York. It's only the live stream is $25. The advanced love tickets for the event that we're going to be at is going to be $13 in advance or $13 before 4 p.m. and $25 after. So make sure you come on out. Make sure you enjoy. Make sure you check out the live stream. Come and enjoy. Red Pill and Blue Pill, myself, Ross Ben, Sister Kafunya, Ankh Rising Sun, Bishop Renee, and Joel Benjamin will also be speaking. Food will be provided by Mojo Cafe. That's Monique and Joel of the Nicholas Brooklyn. And a lot of people are going to be passing through. So that should be very exciting because we're doing a tribute. We'll see if I can play some stuff with Delbert Blair and then go into it, why he was so significant, why it's so important. And as a matter of fact, I just ordered 20 books. 20 of Dr. Delbert Blair's books will be on hand and on deck. So if you've never had or received any of Dr. Blair's book, I will have them in stock. I'll have 20 of them in stock. I just ordered 10 of each. So I only have 10 of each to sell of Dr. Blair's. But if you do want to order it for yourself online, go to the Meta Center, the Meta Center 2. Chicago. I think it's the metacenter2.com or the metacenter2chicago.com. So that's one thing that's going on. Also, if you want to do a numerology session or numerologic session or a numerovation session with me, there is a difference. The advertisement rate is $2 per minute, a minimum of 35 minutes you must do, or to an hour. Please text your full name and date of birth for the appointment to set up an appointment at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And if you're outside of the United States, please, 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 please use WhatsApp. Use WhatsApp and we can make it happen. Use WhatsApp and we can make it happen. Let me throw on my computer glasses since, I am a number one. So number ones are possible to suffer from eye problems, eye stigmas, and you have to protect your eyes, number one. So it's good to get these blue blockers like Brother KT pushes. Very good to get these blue blockers. If you want to get a set, go to KT's website, KT the Arch Degree. Go get his blue blockers. This one I had for a while because Dr. Africa told me about the blue blockers and the gunners and all that kind of stuff. The gunner glasses, I have like 3 sets. So it's good to protect your eyes with these kind of glasses, or learn to do eye exercises, especially if you're born under certain numbers, certain energies of certain numbers attract certain ailments in the system. And since we're on that, let me talk about that briefly, but let me finish this first. Next, we are showing some respect for this 10-year-old CEO, Brooklyn's own Obucho Peters' second annual financial literacy seminar on Wednesday, October 16th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm going to see if I can make it there also. It's going to be in New York, Brooklyn, New York at PS 6. That's 43 Snyder Avenue in Brooklyn. College Fund Financing 101, Creative Ways to Save for College. Special guest speaker would be Michelle R. Ewing, 5 Rings Financial, Isaac Roldan of Canva Small Business. What we will learn, or what you will learn if you come to this event: the power of living benefits, becoming $1 million baby, creative college funds planning, and supporting kidpreneurs. Very important. It's going to be vendors and everything, and it's absolutely free. And this 10-year-old is the producer of this event. His name is Obucho Peters. I know him since he was a little baby. Matter of fact, I know him before he even came out the womb because I knew his mother, who was also a great designer named the House of Hot Cocoa. So if you want to find out further information, please email him at iamobucho@gmail.com. That's IAMOBOCHO. That's IAMOBOCHO@gmail.com, or hit him up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. He has his own YouTube page, and on Twitter. So I am Obucho. That is his name on all social media outlets. And if you want to RSVP, go to www.obucho101.eventbrite.com. That's Obucho101.eventbrite.com. Sponsorship vending opportunities are available. So 10-year-old doing his thing. 10 years old. That's what we got in there. We need to always pull out those different type of talents that our young children are exuding and showing to us, even if we don't know it yet. See, that's why I do numerovation, because in studying numerovation and studying the various other numerologists, so to speak, I find that there are talents that a lot of people are keeping to themselves because of whether they lack the encouragement, whether they lack influence, whether they lack guidance. Children, you can guide them. You can, whatever you want to guide a child into, you can guide, especially with that young mind. And because I do numerovation, I can help point them in the right direction if you did a session for your children or do a session for yourself, because a lot of us impose our own fears on our children when we need to stop that. Stop imposing your fears because of what you was taught in cycles that was passed down. Fear can be good if you know how to redirect it, because there are certain natural fears, like a fear of a loud sound and a fear of falling. But we got to stop imposing a lot of the fear factors because of what we've gone through with our parents, what we've gone through because of loss of parents or grandparents or those who abused us in any way. We got to learn to overcome a lot of the fear. So I'm so proud of brother, this little man, Obucho Peters, doing his thing. Big up to his mom, who is a single parent mother, doing her thing. And he's got a big event happening August 16th. 2019. That's from 6 to 8 p.m. And it's absolutely free for mothers, fathers, children that want to be entrepreneurs and want to educate their children into financial literacy. We have heard about this financial literacy thing. We've heard people like Dr. Boyce Watkins speak on it. We've heard people like Dr. Claude Anderson speak on it. We've heard of various people speaking about financial literacy and how we have not been taught financial literacy in our own schools. So sometimes you can't depend on your school system to teach you financial literacy. So you have to bring them out after they leave school. You set up your own little after school daycare and teach financial literacy, language, and all these type of things that need to be, like Jews and Chinese people do. They do that. They can send you, they'll send their children to a certain PS school or a charter school, but after school, there is going to be an after school special amongst their community where they teach them financial literacy, keep the language very prevalent inside of them so they can go and travel back and forth to keep that dual citizenship. Also, we as original people can set that up also. So I find this very important that this young man is doing that financial literacy seminar. So I'm going to try to have him on and interview him on my show right here on King Simon Presents on YouTube. And I'll see if I can set up a whole Facebook and everything else. Okay, good. But big up Abucho. Bang, of course, my celebration in production and promotion is coming up. We're confirming the venue this week, between this week and next week, but it's happening on November the 10th. And the theme of it is called Health, Wealth, Love, and Mathematical Thinking into the Future. Health, wealth, love, and mathematical thinking into the future. We've already confirmed KT, the arts degree, and his beautiful wife, the Oracle. We already confirmed brother Joshua Sarah. We already confirmed Sister Abundance Child, and I'm waiting for one more confirmation. I have to get that going on. One more confirmation. There's going to be 6 speakers, including myself. We're going to have live performance in between all of that, in between the breaks. I'm going to have probably 3 breaks. We're going to have the place from 12 to 9:30. And in between that, doors open at 1, 2 o'clock, and then we're going to keep it moving and keep it going all the way through. So that's going to be happening in Brooklyn and New York. I'm going to be celebrating 24 years celebration in promotion and productions professionally. So I've been doing it before that, but when I got into a major venue, my first time was in 1995, and that was a place called SOBs. That's the Sound of Brazil in New York City. So great. So let's get into some stuff, okay? What's going on? You hear people like JIDENNA talking and all that kind of stuff about toxic masculinity. You hear people like Malik Yoba, who him and I worked together before. If you get my book, as a matter of fact, in my book, I have a picture of Malik Yoba doing an event with me in Manhattan, exactly, because I used to produce a lot of major events in SOBs, and he used to frequent SOBs, so I considered him a friend of mine. I still do consider him a friend of mine, but I'm not into the transgender stuff and what he's trying to promote. But here he is. That's one of my flyers. It says Global Access and King Simon Productions presents on Tuesday, June the 16th, from New York Undercover, making his SOB's debut, Malik Yoba. So I've produced events with Malik Yoba already. And he used to frequent the club that I used to run and be a booking agent at an MC and a DJ at. Malik Yoba was there too. What is so interesting, let's go into his numbers, shall we? Because this is so interesting to me, because it's funny that, I like what Wesley Muhammad broke down. I like what Rizza Islam has been breaking down. They're getting right at the jugular veins of this whole madness that's going on. And look, I understand. I'm not against anybody, but I don't support the agenda that they're trying to push heavily, not just to the public, but they're starting with the children. And because they know what Napoleon said back in the day is that if you get to the children, you can make wonders out of them. That's paraphrasing, but believe me, Napoleon and those Europeans understand that type of stuff. They understand what they're doing. So I see the whole thing is about I'm going to touch on Malik Yoba's birthday, which is so interesting because he's born September 17th. He's born the same day as Brother Rich and Lord Jamal. And I know they're not supporting that kind of stuff, but what it tells me, being that he's born September 5th, let's say 9 plus 17 plus 2019 equals 2045. So the 2 and the 4 plus the 5 equals the 11. Now in numerology, because he's entering this 11-year cycle, coming out of a number 1 year cycle. So new things, new beginning, new revelations is also is coming out from Malik Yoba. But also he's going into another 11-year cycle where it's also revealing things, because right now it's the expansion years that he's into. Since last year to this year, those people born on the 17th of September are in their expansion year, going into this number 3 year after that. But he's going into a number 11 year, which 11 is the number of deception on one side of the coin. And let me share that with you, what the number 11 is significant of. In numerology, when you read books like this, I want to just point. It says, this is an ominous number to occult it. It gives warning of hidden dangers, trials, and treachery from others. It is a symbol of the clenched hand and the lion's muzzle, and of a person who will have great difficulties to contend against. This is 11 year that he is going into, and that seems to be more on the negative sense when you're dealing with that compound number. But also, if you're not being deceived, then you are a deceiver. So although 11 is a master number of visionary, because this is a visionary move on his part per se, because he's now going to galvanize more followers, because I'm doing numerology from an objective. I'm not doing emotional. I'm not emotional about this. I said deceptive, and deception can come in both ways. It can come from different angles. He could be a deceiver, or the people around him can be deceiving him, or what he has gotten into as far as his genre of entertainment. It could be a deceiving thing. But remember, he is entering this 11-year cycle, which is a visionary and expansive move. Whether we look at it as negative or not on Malik Yoba's part, it is still a visionary move, because he's still going to have his supporters, whether they're heterosexual, whether they're homosexual, whether they're transgender. He's going to have his supporters. And I understand that they're about to also reboot New York Undercover again. I'm understanding that. So a lot of things is a lot of promotional ploy. And because the 11-year cycle is about fame and fortune, this can also be being done for fame and fortune, and a certain move into his fame and fortune to the next level, so he can remain relevant. Remember, the entertainment culture is all about being relevant as they get older, so they don't get pushed out of the box by the younger people. So the older ones want to have longevity like a Morgan Freeman. They want to have a longevity stance in entertainment like a Cicely Tyson. So people like Malik Yoba, like I said, I've worked with him before. I know him to the point that if he ran into me, yo, Simon, how are you doing? That's exactly how me and Malik know each other. He's born on the 17th of September, and now before his birthday, he has been in his critical cleansing cycle. Now, if I was to advise him, if he did a consultation with me, or any celebrity do it, I'll always give them sound advice from the positive and the negative, from the low and the high. You got to do that. And I do that with everybody. That's why my consultation firm that's going to be coming up is going to be very interesting, because it's called Everyone is a Celebrity, or Everybody is a Celebrity Consultant Firm. That's coming out soon. I'm about to get all the licenses and all that. Everyone is a Celebrity Consultant Firm, because I believe every one of you have a celebrity in you, whether it's at a lower level or it's at a high level. So in regards to Brother Malik, as he is coming out of this number 1 year, going into this master number 11 year, and he's in his critical cycle, the steps that I would have told him to really keep quiet and cleanse things first. Really think about the certain moves that he was going to make. Due to, if he had consulted somebody like me, I would definitely say, watch out for people who's going to try to deceive you. Watch out for being deceptive, because 11, just like the number 7, are revealing numbers. There are numbers of revelations, whether it's revealing about people around you, or it's revealing yourself to the world. So Malik is revealing himself to the world. Malik Yoba is revealing himself to the world. He likes transgender men. Okay, that's what he's doing. Boom. All right. Moving right along now. Let's go to JIDENNA. Let's go to JIDENNA, who, of course, everybody heard on Sway's show. They heard on various other shows talking about Africa and talking about the homosexuality existing in Africa for many years. Now, not to make Africa a utopia. It's not, and you know, Paul Mooney's son said that to me on a thread inside there, that we got to stop making Africa a utopia. Of course, they had their problems. Of course, homosexuality and lesbianism popped up at certain parts, but it was always kept apart, or it was always kept at a certain distance. But without doubt, we know that prior to the homosexual culture coming in, they did not have that until, and then when they started writing the laws of Ma'at and all that, they started recognizing that these things were possible. So they have to say, I have not done this and I have not done that. Because throughout, if we're here on earth for so many millions of years, all the little nasty, dirty little things going to come out. We just didn't have a name for it until we got to America, because now it's dealing with sexuality and all that kind of stuff. So all this little nasty, little dirty things eventually was going to come out after a certain amount of time. But you cannot say that it's a part of African culture, because there's no African culture or African nation that has thrived as a homosexual and lesbian society. Fully for generation of generation? Heck no. It takes man and woman, the natural meiotic balance, to make children. Takes man and woman to make. And then some people, I've heard people like Dr. Blair, who we're doing that tribute to coming up on the 22nd. He has also stated about women being able to give birth at a certain time. I forgot the name of what it's called, but women was able to give birth by themselves because they was connected to the radiation of the sun and all that kind of stuff, which, you know, they got a name for it, but I don't know the name per se. But I know Dr. Blair used to speak on that. And that could have been possible at certain parts of our life, you know, because we know there's certain animals that some can actually come to actually give birth or impregnate themselves. That's a certain species. But when it comes to the balance of the universe and the balance of the people and balance of human nature, man and woman serve their purpose to continue life on this realm right here. Because it's like a plug. It's just like a plug. Hey, look, that is the plug. That's the plug. That's the socket. The only way I'm going to be able to charge this phone is by plugging this male thing into the female socket. That's how this thing works. Plugging the male into the female. That's how this electrical grid is going to work right here. That's how this is going to work. So if you ain't plugging, if two plugs are trying to plug in and two sockets are trying to plug in, guess what? They ain't going to produce nothing. So I'm not being hateful of anybody. Look, me personally, I don't support it. I'm not going to push it like that, but I understand certain things mathematically. Like I just broke down about Malik Yoba and what cycles he's in. Let's deal with JIDENNA on what cycle he is in. Check this out. Now, JIDENNA is born May the 4th, and the cycle that he is in now is in his 3-year cycle. 5 plus 4 plus 2019 equals 2028. And 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 8 is the number 12, which is a 3, which is very interesting because, like I've told y'all from listening last year, that the 3-year cycle is the cycle of scandals, is the cycle of expression, expansion, exposure, whether positive or negative, reckless talk, whether positive or negative. Reckless talk can't be positive or negative, but you got reckless talk that just to lead people on. So JIDENNA is in that cycle of scandal, exposure, expansion, and plus he's promoting his new album. So hey, it's also a promotional number of expansion. So I totally understand what he's doing. And remember, the number 3 energy is the number of controversy. Always getting into scandalous stuff, especially people born on the number 3 always. And I've always pointed out certain people, key people in history, in the music business, that's been getting into scandal that we have known of most of their life. And a lot of times in the entertainment business. James Brown, born May the 3rd. Damon Dash, born May the 3rd. And Star from Star Report, born May the 3rd. Always getting into some type of scandal with their mouth. with the things that they do and how they do things. And it's cool. It's cool. That's sometimes it's important for the controversial, what you call controversial promotions, which I have inside my book. I speak about it. Matter of fact, it's in the glossary in my book. I got that in my glossary. So yes, I have a glossary in my book. Make sure you get my book on Amazon or Kindle. It's called No Promotion is Bad Promotion and All Publicity is Good Publicity. Just spell my name right. And in the glossary of this book, I point out what controversial promotion is. I give a brief breakdown of it. Controversial promotion: using controversy to promote or generate attention for an event, the media, or personal gain. I got that in my book. Controversial promotion as one of the glossary words. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that we understand that this is all a marketing ploy, not only on JIDENNA's point of view, but also from Malik Yoba's, because they're trying to extend their fan base and not claim this quote unquote masculinity, but we're not recognizing also the quote unquote feminine toxic femininity as well as toxic masculinity. Why am I saying that? Why am I saying this? There is toxic masculinity as well as there's toxic femininity. But toxic femininity has become more prevalent in the years of the 2000 because the number 2 rules the feminine energy. And because since we've gotten heavy into the 2000s, the zeros that came behind the 20 or the 2 added more potential, added more extremes in this. And that is what's going on. And now remember, the 2 in its most positive really represents compassion, really represents balance. Let's look at it from one of the numerology books, what they say about the number 2. Because I think we're not paying attention to that this number 2 in it, that in this realm the numbers have a vibration that connects to the positive and the negative, the low and the high frequency. So going to the number 2 on its positive, and the number 2 on the positive is dealing with compassion. It's dealing with being gifted, domesticated, also being intuitive, selfless, warm-hearted, balance, loving, health conscious, discreet, faithful, easygoing, good friends. That's the number 2 energy. So I'm saying the number 2 energy because we are in the 2000 according to this calendar. We have the 2019 factor, but it's in the years of 2000 that the heavy feminist movement of the negative of femininity, and instead of recognizing the balance of both feminine and balance, because the feminine and masculine, because 2 and 6 represents that balance, represents the need to have compassion for both sexes and balancing it out with each other. But the scales are tilting because I understand women want their rights and all that, but at one time, women in our culture, the men and women in ancient time walked together and was able to build great kingdoms, great edifice. In this time, what are we building? Doing either being too masculine or being too feminine. What are we doing? What are we building? We're not building anything being too feminine or being too masculine. We're building a separation between the 2 genders, and then we're building argument between the 2 genders instead of giving us the respect that we need to balance it out. This is the year 2000s that we're in, because the 2000s represents the feminine energy, but the compassion and the balance of the feminine energy is very important. That's what 2 represents, compassion. Now, the negative of the number 2, according to this numerology book, the negative of the number 2 is being overly sensitive, emotionally depth, hate conflicts, possessive, self-doubt, stubborn, reluctant leader, wandering, secretive, bad enemy, uncompetitive, lack passion. And that's what the number 2 energy is all about on the negative. So we need to get back to the balance of the number 2, where 2 is one of the healing numbers according to numerology. 2, 6, and 8. 2, 6, and 8. And notice that they're all even numbers and they're all female numbers, because from the female energy, From the feminine energy, there's always nurturing and healing. Don't lose this, my sisters, because of a society that want to push toxic femininity. Brothers need to understand that women need a certain sensitivity and learn to balance it out. Not telling you to become too sensitive, but learn to attract your, because all of us have male and female in us, or feminine and masculine in us. All of us have protons and neutrons in us that makes electrons and electrons in us. We all got the balance of the two in us, but it's time to connect the two to make the proper union with each other. That's why we as brothers and sisters have to learn to understand one another and have empathy for one another. So learn to put our own feet into their shoes and they put their feet into our shoes, especially in a society like this when both of us aren't going anywhere without each other, because they want to kill both of us. They want to destroy both of us. They want to take away the womb from women, and they want to take away the manhood strength from the man. They want to take away all the sensitivity of the woman, and they removing wombs and all that kind of stuff. Women are found missing without organs, without having hysterectomies and all that kind of stuff, and giving it to somebody else so they can produce men, so they can have their men that they love so much to make children. Remember, that is a Greco-European Roman culture of the Caucasus side, where you're going to find that they always believed that man on man love was the greatest love. This is Plato now. This is what Plato said. Plato said that the greatest love was man and man. So you got to be careful of this so-called platonic relationship. We got to be very careful of this, what we call this platonic relationship. Because it was Plato and his crew that was thinking like that and think that was the greatest love. But in ancient Africa, we didn't teach that greatest love was man and man. Greatest love was man and woman and the balance between the two. That's how we build. That's how we reproduce. That's how we keep our progenitor going on forward into the future. That's how we signed the contract to be here, to go through whatever we got to go through. So please understand this, family, that it's so important. I'm not going to stay here too long. It is so important that we recognize that this toxicity or toxic masculinity is not just one-sided, because where there's toxic masculinity, there's a toxic femininity, because we're tilting off balance here. So they're going to create the two dichotomies. It's going to happen. So you can't keep on talking about toxic masculinity and not talk about toxic femininity, and how most of the feminists, Europeans per se, are trying to turn us into soft men. So to reduce population, because our birth rate is high, their birth rate is low. This is what their scientists are saying. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to crop and to reduce population. There's too much on the earth. Hey, if that's what you feel, hey, some of these rich people need to off themselves, like Epstein did. Some of them need to off themselves, because then you can remove some populations off yourself. So I'm saying that because this is what's going on. From a mathematical perspective, as far as the 2000s is concerned, we got to pay attention to the balance of the two, because the two is the strength that's going to be here for a while. That two, that leading number, is going to be here for a while. And it's going to have to work with all the numbers that preceded. But that 2000 is the number that we got to deal with. And that deals with the compassion. That deals with the balance. That deals with the love. And most of all, like I said, is balance, harmony, love, and respect for both man and woman, and understanding, yes, we have been traumatized. Yes, we have to be sensitive to trauma. Yes, we have to be sensitive that men have been molested and raped, that women have been molested and raped, and that it's still going on. We have to be sensitive. We do have to be sensitive. See, numerology and numerovation reveals this stuff to me. And so I decided to come out and say something about it, not disrespecting any community. I'm not going to dog my gay brothers and sisters, or homosexual brothers and sisters, and my lesbian brothers, and the ones that's in the LGBTQ and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to dog y'all. I can't dog y'all for what you've gone through and what type of trauma it is to even take on the mantle to try to cut off your vaginal area and add a penis, or cut off your penis and add a vagina, or insert or make a penis. that's a lot of money y'all spending. That means there's a lot of things y'all are trying to say to us that you don't accept of yourself. Some of you born men, some of you born women, some of y'all born hermaphrodites. Hey, this is the learning center that we're in right now. We're on Earth. Earth is the learning center. We're all going to pass through this. So if that's what you came to do, try to do it in a balanced mind. Try to understand you cannot keep on trying to push this on people and then try to push it on children and not let the child decide themselves for what they want to be and how they want to go down that road. I have a cousin on my altar that was homosexual and he transitioned. He died. I had no problem because he never treated me wrong. He never disrespected me. He never tried me. Not my cousin. No, he never tried me. As a matter of fact, he kept it to himself. It's just that when he left the Caribbean or Jamaica and came here, that's when he went and got a little crazy with it and went overboard, and now he ends up on an ancestral altar or is in the next realm. I'm sure he understands what it is now. So I can't hate them. I had it in my family. He's on my altar. Big up to him. He's been on my altar. I gotta respect him because in our connection in Jamaica, it was never disrespectful and he never pushed it. And you would never know because women was coming after him until he came to America. That's when he settled in because America is a place that brings out the cesspool of people, brings out the negative of the people because it's so greedy for every little thing. You know, as much as there's positive here, there's also the balance of negative, and we have to pay attention to that also. So, like Bob Marley would say, there's so much of the people out there doing negative that he had to keep on doing positive. I know I have the quote somewhere. It's a quote that he said years ago that I had in my phone. I gotta find that quote because that was a powerful quote that Bob Marley said years ago about the negative and the positive of people. I know I have it in my phone. I'm going to try to find it before I get off of this. I think it's in this part of my phone. But Bob Marley said it clear. It is money is number. No, not that one. That's another Bob Marley quote. Yeah, man, I have a whole heap of Bob Marley quote. Bob Marley is an Aquarian brother. And he was a rebel, man. Bob was a rebel, and he kept on doing the rebel-like things. Where's it at? It's gonna come up in a few seconds because I think that one was like, oh, there it is. Boom. There it is. Bob Marley used to say, family, he said, the people who are trying to make this world worse aren't taking a day off. So how can I? The people, see, this is the balance that we have to figure out. This is what road are you on? Are you going to try to make the world worse? Or are you going to try to make the world better? I'll repeat what Bob Marley said again. He says, the people who are trying to make this world worse aren't taking a day off. How can I? So how can I take a day off of being positive and trying to offset the balance? You know, there's people right now in the East that are praying for the balance of the earth. The Tibetan monks and different higher level spiritual people are praying to maintain the balance where they stay all day in meditation to keep the balance of the universe right now. There's pyramids and mounds built around the earth to maintain the balance of this earth. People don't understand. It's much more deeper than what we're thinking. So like Bob said in this, and I'm going to put it on my Instagram, so please become a friend of mine on Instagram because I like to post a lot of positive stuff. And I keep my stuff positive. People can take this as something negative, like the social media and all that as negative, but you don't have to look at it as negative. We got to offset it. So like Bob said, the people who are trying to make this world worse aren't taking a day off. They got 24-hour agencies, 7 days a week. So how can you take a day off? If you consider yourself positive and reflective of the balance of the universe, and you want the balance, you understand the yin and the yang, you understand the male and the female. And I heard JIDENNA keep on speaking on yin and yang, which is masculine and feminine, the balance. Once a man becomes whole, then he understands his masculine and feminine in him. It doesn't make him overly masculine. It doesn't make him overly feminine. Once a woman understands the balance of the masculine and feminine in her. It doesn't make her overly masculine. It doesn't make her overly feminine because she learns the balance. Is it easy? Hell no, because we're in an unbalanced society. So it's not easy. So again, like Brother Bob said, lot of mercy. Pick up the Bob Marley all the time in that ancestral realm. The people who are trying to make this world worse aren't taking a day off. How can I take a day off? What are you going to do? Are you going to be the solution or are you going to be the problem? My part of the solution is producing applicable events of information, workshops, also teaching this or doing numerology sessions or numerovation sessions to help motivate you to your best. I don't care if you're gay, straight, homosexual. I don't care what you are. If you call me for a numerovation session, I'm just dealing with your numbers and your name. Whatever you do with it, that's totally up to you. I don't even have to know that you're gay, straight, or indifferent. I don't even have to know that. Because I've done readings for lesbians, I've done readings for bisexual women, I've done readings for bisexual men, I've done readings for homosexuals, I've done readings for them, and I just dealt with what the numbers are saying to me, especially when it deals with pain, especially when it deals with trauma, because I touched the trauma and the pain, because for some reason, it keeps on, my spirit keep on going towards the trauma and try to help elevate you out of the trauma, but it's not a pill. It takes sometimes 21 to 22 days to break a habit, but it takes sometimes a lifetime to heal from the trauma. And many of us are not healing from traumas. That's why we're doing the craziness that we're doing underhandedly or without thought. That's why we're doing it. So I am not an angel. Believe me, I've gone through my traumas. Like I've said before, public record, I've been founded by my girl cousins, and we just talked about it a couple of years ago. All of us cried it out, and then come to find out they got molested by certain men in their family. Now, we never had no sexual encounters and none of that, but stripping you naked and swinging you around and all that for a young child at my age at that time was very traumatic. That's traumatic. That's a trauma, especially when you're young. And then you're being trusted. Your mother is trusting her two nieces to take care of you, and they're teenagers, and I'm a little child, and they're doing the foolishness 2 to 3 days straight, and actually torturing me. That was a torture to me. Then on my father's side, this one on my mother's side, and this is gonna be in my book. This is gonna be in my book. This is gonna be in my book. When the Late Bell Rang. It's gonna be in my book, so I have no problems talking about it. Believe me, because I'm free from that, because I've been healing from that long time ago. See, and then I had my boy cousins on my father's side, who I love dearly, just like I love those two girl cousins on my phone, that used to tie me up and throw me around to each other, play like I was a ball. And it wasn't fun because I didn't like being confined and tied up like I was in some type of straitjacket. I didn't like that. I didn't like people teasing me because of my complexion. It happened in my family, on my mother's side and my father's side. Then it happened in school. So at 8 years old, I'm thinking about taking my own life at 8 years old, but I'm alive here today to say, yo, I survived it. But that's going to be in my book. And that book will come out when I'm 55. Around the age of 55 is the best time to put out an autobiography. So my autobiography on When the Late Bell Rang is coming out in the next 3 more years, because I'm 52 now. The next 3 more years is coming out. So I'm going to start working on it in 2020, and I'm going to have it finished by that time. But that autobiography is going to be powerful because it's it deals with that type of life, and it's going to be very healing for people that have gone through stuff, who may have thought about suicide at one time. You're looking at a person, like I said, 3 times I thought about this, 3 times, and that's it. I learned to control and be able to deal with when the depressive thoughts come, because I learned numerology, I learned astrology, I learned all the modalities. I've used the spiritual books up there. You'll see all the spiritual books. You see the Quran, the Bible. You got the Gnostic Bible. You got spiritual warriors. You got the Nuapian Quran. You got the Dr. York's Quran and Bible. I got all of that kind of stuff. I got a collection. Me collect things to study, because the more you study, whether it's external study or internal study, the more you help yourself to become a better person in this realm, so you can help others along the way, people in your family that might need it, your sons, your daughters, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins. They might need the information that you have inside of you. So please, family, After you finish doing all the study and all the book study, remember to study your internal self. Get into your meditation, get into understanding you and understanding your family and why they are, why they were. That's why I'm into forgiveness, because the more you forgive, the more you can let go. I'm not telling you go kiss somebody's ass. I'm not telling you go kumbaya and go hold somebody because they hurt you. But the more you forgive and let go, let it go. Let it go. Because the more you let go, you'll grow. Once you let go, you'll grow. I keep things simple nowadays. When I used to had a business partner, we had a co-op condo, I had a duplex here, and I was going for all the vain stuff. When it comes to like, life is but a dream. Can I get it again? Of course I can get it again if I want to get it again. This time I just want to get property where I can store all my books and all my stuff and have a library. I want a disaster dome. I'm going to get all of that. I'm got the disaster dome, at least 1 or 2 acres. I don't even need that much acreage. I need just 2 acres. 2 acres is like 2 football fields. A part of the football field, that space between the 2 bars, that's like an acre of land. All I need is 2 of them. That's all. And I'll produce certain things. I'll even have retreats and all that where people can come and get some spiritual work and metaphysics work and healing, do some historical classes, historical lectures, produce different things, bring in different people and get away from the city sometimes. So yeah, we need to do that, family, because we come out of nature. You know, we come out of nature. So as I've gotten old, I'm not into the club life anymore. Yeah, women can't even drag me to a club no more. I ain't got no time. I ran Temptation, SOBs. I've done shows at Urban Plaza, Madison Square Garden. I've done shows with big producers, small producers. I've done every party in the party scene except any gay and homosexual stuff. That's the only thing I've never done. I've done swing parties. I've done strip shows. I've done all of that. It's all in my book. Matter of fact, it's all in this book too. All the different parties I've done, because this is a promotional book. But I'm going to go through a lot of stuff. And people even want me, friends of mine, we're even thinking about doing a compilation book on the swingers lifestyle, the pros and the cons. Yeah, I was a swinger. I used to run one of the largest swing clubs in New York, as far as in Brooklyn, New York, and swing groups in Brooklyn, New York, and had some major parties with some major, along with other 3 like Soul Swingers and what's the other one? Swing Black. Yo, Michael Bazin shouted all of us out. Wendy Williams used to talk about it. I've done all of that. I've been there, done that. I've been there. So I don't have to go back into the club scene. I don't have to do that no more. I let the younger guys and younger girls do that. I ain't got to do that no more. I understand it. So if you come to me for consultation about it, I could talk about that. I could talk about production. I could talk about how to produce from a small level to a large level. Man, I've lived a life. Like Wendy Williams used to say, I've lived and I'm still living. I'm still reinventing. And every one of you out there can reinvent yourself to a next level and continue growing. If you got a job now, set up something on the side. Learn something about generational wealth. Let me read some stuff that you can do right now. There's some stuff that you can do right now. Ways to make money while you are sleeping. Invest in stocks, create an app, write an ebook, drop shipping, own rental properties, start a YouTube channel, create your own products, sell stock photos, buy a vending machine business, affiliate marketing, peer-to-peer lending, run a paid subscription service, create a membership-only community, buy and sell websites, rent your possessions. Y'all got so much that you can do for yourself while you're working whatever job you're working for somebody else's dream. If you're supporting somebody else's dream and you ain't supporting your dreams and goals, you're doing a disservice to yourself. I'll say that again. If you're supporting somebody else's dreams and you still haven't set up something on the side to do a service to yourself and set up your own business, you're doing a disservice to yourself, because we're here to pass on a lot of energy to our children, our grandchildren, our godchildren. You might not want no children. You might have godchildren. You might have nieces and nephews. You're supposed to leave a legacy by any means necessary. In numerology, there are certain legacy leaving numbers. Yes, I could pinpoint that inside your chart. But I will definitely say to all of you beautiful brothers and sisters out there, if you aren't striving to be your best and start your own legacy, then what are you doing and what you need to do? I'm not going to be on here too long. And Before I end, I want to say if I've offended anyone of you in any of the communities, I do apologize for the offense, but I do not apologize for the truth in what I say. I do apologize because I know people are a little more sensitive. We're in the year 2000s, and that number 2 deals with the 2000 all the way to 2019. That deals with some sensitivities here. A lot of people are sensitive, gotten more sensitive. I think we're drinking too much homogenized milk, but I think, we're getting we're too sensitive. So, like I said, I do not apologize for the truth. I'm unapologetic for my truth. But because like Dr. Blair says, only you can know truth until you identify what truth is. You have your own truth until you can identify what truth is within yourself. So you got to know your own truth. And that is my truth. And I'm sticking with it. We are becoming desensitized to the balance of the universe. And the universe don't really care all about that bullcrap because it's going to get its balance back regardless of what they try to do in this realm or not. It's always staying in its balance. It's always staying in its balance. Protons and neutrons are always there in its balance. In the atoms, in the nuclei of the atoms, it's always going to stay in balance. Nature's still doing its thing. It's going to purge itself and cleanse itself to get back to balance. It happens. It always happens. It's always happened for millions of years. So it's going to stay on its balance, regardless if they try to. They got all these new symbols for all these new all these new sexual chosen ways and lives or different genders. I don't even know. I can't even figure it out no more. We got all these things when every one of them, before they became transsexual or homosexual and all that, they all came out male, female first. Male, female. And then you have a few hermaphrodites. You have a few people, and usually things that you eat and things that you take in or where you're grown up, especially if you're around chemical factories in different places, can be passed down through the genes, passed down in the bloodstream, passed down, and it can be passed down. So you got to be very careful where you're living and what's going on with you. You got to be careful. That book called Bad Blood is real book about those type of things. And big up to Wesley Muhammad, big up to Riza Islam, big up to Irritated Genie, big up to Dr. Phil Valentine, big up to people like Dr. Africa, people like Dr. Baruti, and all these people that have written, Francis Cresswell, that have written books about the psychology of this. Omar Johnson written about it. People like Amos Wilson have written about it. People like Joyce DeGruy has written about it. The psychology of what's been going on in our life is turning up to be something really crazy in this day and time. Big up to all those great speakers and all those great authors and all those great writers. We need y'all to write your story. You need y'all to get it on out. Now, before I finish, let me promote one more thing. Dr. Phil Valentine will be in New York for absolutely free. I will be doing an interview with him and Curtis Koss. Curtis Koss is the author of the book called Vaccines Are Dangerous. Dr. Phil Valentine is the author of the book Wounded Womb. But Dr. Valentine is actually doing a free, he's going to be part of this free panel discussion at NAN, which is National Action Network, Al Sharpton spot. That's 145th Street, I believe, off of Lenox Avenue. Let me see. I got the flyer right here. Let me read it for y'all real quick before I get off so y'all will know. First and foremost, let me send that to my Instagram. But yeah, Dr. Phil Valentine will be in town with Gary Knoll. Those who don't know who Gary Knoll, he wrote books. He's been on the forefront for health for a long time. I think him and people like Dr. Africa and Phil Valentine been out there for a while. They've been doing this for a long time. So Dr. Gary Knoll be on WBAI, and he does a lot of great events about vaccines, about the Monsanto and all that. So it's going to be him and Baba Phil Valentine together. And with numerous other people. Matter of fact, let me see. Curtis Koss, Dr. Phil Valentine, Miss Sheila Ely, the leading activist in the African American community on vaccines, Mary Holland, Esquire, author and attorney challenging New York's repeated legal system in regards to that. And then you got a lot of other people that will be coming through, being part of it. Mark Blackswill, I think, Michael Mitchell Cohen will be there, Patricia Finn, Reverend Walter Sotelo, and many others, Curtis Cost, and it's all going to be held on Saturday, September the 14th, absolutely free at the National Action Network at 106 West 145th Street in Harlem, New York. Doors open at 12 noon and it starts 12 noon promptly. Al Sharpton spot. So you want further information about this vaccine forum? They're going to be speaking on the vaccine laws and how to get vaccine exemption and all that. Please call 212-690-3070. That's 212-690-3070. Come on out and meet Brother Rich. Brother Rich said he's passing through. Sanetta's going to be passing through. I'll be there. Herman Small should be there. There's going to be a whole lot of us that's going to be in the building. A lot of the YouTube crowd, for YouTube friends out there, we're going to be in the building because these vaccines, they're really trying to push it on us, and we need to understand what's in them, what it's used for, how's it causing problems, how some may serve its purpose, some may not serve its purpose. They're going to give you both the positive and negative of these things and what to prepare for and how to prepare yourself. So once again, that's happening on Saturday, September 14th. If you plan on having a baby, or you have children that needs to be vaccinated, you should be in New York. It's absolutely free. The place holds like 400 people. Get there early so you can be, or it will be standing room only. I've been in there where it's only been standing room only. So you want to be in the building. You want to be there. All right, family. Don't forget, I'll be interviewing Dr. Phil Valentine this coming Sunday on this channel. So make sure you share. Make sure you ring the bell so you can get notifications. So at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will have Dr. Phil Valentine and Curtis Cost on here for at least an hour to an hour and a half. I don't do long serve. I don't do 3 hours and 2 hours and all that. I ain't got no time for that. I got things I'm doing. That's why I can't sit on radio like I used to. I used to do 4-hour shows making $60,000 a year on a radio program. I ain't got no time to do that right now. I used to do that terrestrial radio. It is what it is, but I love and respect you, honor you. And don't forget, if you want to find out further information about any of the events coming up, please go to kingsimonproductions.eventbrite.com. That's kingsimonproductions.eventbrite.com. Remember, my celebration in 24 years in promotion and production is coming. KT the Arch Degree, the Oracle, his beautiful wife, Sister Abundance Child, Joshua Sarah, and we got more live performance and more speakers coming in. Don't forget, we're doing a tribute to Dr. Delbert Blair coming up with Ross Ben, Red Pill and Blue Pill, Unc Rising Sun, Elder Bishop Renee, Joel Benjamin, and Sister Kafunya. They all going to be in the building. And if you want to do a Numerovation session with me, Numerologic session, or a Numerology session with me, believe me, you can do it. $2 a minute, minimum of 35 minutes. That is the advertisement rate. And you can do up to an hour. You can get it recorded so you can listen to it over and over again to give yourself some guidance and some leeway on how to do and what you need to do and how you need to adjust, and don't make excuses. Remember, make adjustments. Don't make excuses. And numerology helps you to do that. Numerology helps you to make adjustments to your life and your well-being, and so you don't make excuses. Believe me, it has helped me immensely. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Please text me on WhatsApp or text me a regular phone. If you're outside of the United States, text me your full name and date of birth, 347-496-1022 to set up an appointment. Or if you're in the United States, text me at 347-496-1022. Hit me up on all social media. Be my friend on Instagram. Share this. I love you. And you know why I love you? Because I love myself all over my heart. And I got on Moshood shirt, 25 years, Moshood. Yeah, baby. Black owned, operated business. Big up to Moshood, celebrating 25 years a couple of weeks ago. Y'all be good now. One love, one aim, one destiny. And y'all stay at peace out here. Peace. King Simon is out.